Hey guys, Desolator Magic here. We're joined by the special guest called My Pre-Release Pack. I wanted to show off just how terrible this was so that some people who did have good packs kind of got what the vast majority of us were complaining about. Sorry about the harsh lighting. I know it's a little bright and kind of from the left there, but I don't know. My videos look like crap in the dark, so that's pretty much all there is to it. And I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Guarantee I'll have trouble putting this in the frame. So this was my actual deck. I went blue-green. So we've got Aether Swooper. He's kind of cool. I mean, I am going to have trouble getting this in the frame. He generates 2 energy, and then, you know, when he swings, you can pay 2 to create a non-flying, non-thopter servo. And he's only a 1/2. He's in the area, cost 2. I mean, that's not that bad. Of course, I use full arts. Why not? And, oh yeah, some of these are not right side up. I even had to dip into the artifacts, which, you know, why not? It's a 2/1 for 2, and you can pay 1 green to make it have Death Touch. That's not bad. I mean, that's honestly one of the strongest creatures in this deck, and that's one of the problems. Druid of the Cowl, I mean, he generates mana, he's ramp, he's a 1/3. For 2, I mean, he's a good blocker, he's a good ramper. Nothing that expensive in my deck, mostly I just needed creatures, so I had to throw in even subpar creatures like this. I really didn't need the ramp, I needed the attack power. So then we've got Tune with the Aether, and generates mana, and it fixed my colors for 1. I thought, whatever. Or it generates energy, not mana. Then we had Cultivator's Caravan. Now this one's interesting. Good lord, I'm having trouble keeping this in the shot. There we go. So even if you don't crew it, you can tap it for mana of any color, so that's why I put it in, just fixing. Otherwise it costs 3, and it's a 5/5, and it has crew 3. This actually did do some damage, but you saw the other creatures. I mean, you pretty much get the gist of it. It would take 2 to 3 creatures to crew this, which was a problem. Next up, I'm just going to flip it. They're mostly this way. Natural Obsolescence. This one, I think, actually was in my sideboard, technically. But you take an artifact and put it on the bottom of their library. You know, it killed the 6/6 Beast tokens. It only cost 2. It was an instant. It was a good card. Next up, we got Pima Outrider. Basically the second best creature in the deck. If I had just a couple more reasonable creatures like this, I would have done better. I went tie win-win, which sounds good, but it didn't feel good at the time. So this one costs 4. It has Trample and Fabricate 1, so obviously you would almost never use Fabricate, or use the servo option, I should say. You would make it a 4/4 Trampler. And yeah, 4/4 Trampler for 4 is pretty good. This deck was really, really close to being good. Just didn't get there. So this guy's kind of cool. I mean, you're always happy to find him at a sealed event. Aether Theorist. He costs 2. He's a 1/3. Once again, impossible to crew something and pathetic on damage. But you get 3 energy, and then you can pay 1 and tap him to scry 1. So he's like a really crappy Sigiled Starfish, basically. But yeah, I used him to burn through my deck and find the 1 or 2 cards that didn't suck. So this deck, I mean, obviously, I almost won 4 rounds with it, so it's, you know, it's not that bad, but it really is that bad. These were a late edition. It's a 2/2 for 2, and if Revolt happened, which it never did, you get 2 mana, which usually I couldn't spend on anything anyway. So it's just a 2/2 for 2. That's basically why it's in here. Now this is the start of the deck. This is the reason I went so artifact heavy. It's a 7/5 with Improvise for 7, so you can get him way down there. The only problem is he swings every single turn, but a 7/5, I mean, honestly, I'm going to swing every turn anyway, pretty much. So that's cool. I mean, I got him way down there to, like, you know, costing 5, costing 4. It was kind of nice. You know, most of the artifacts were creatures anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. This was huge, absolutely huge. +3/+3, and I gain 3 energy. Doesn't grant trample, but it is a 2-cost instant. So nice little ambush there. I killed a couple creatures with it. Mostly had to keep my creatures alive because I didn't have any, you know, hexproof or anything nice. Then we got another 2/2 for 2 with Revolt. I just put him in and pulled some spells because I just needed the creature power. This is the other one that was kind of okay. When he enters the battlefield, I get 1 energy. When he attacks, I can pay an energy and give him +2 attack power. So he'd become a 4/3. He costs 3. I mean, that's still not that great, but the trample ability is really nice. This guy caused some trouble. And he's one of the 2 or 3 good cards in the deck. I mean, that's just all there was. Lifecraft Cavalry, I only put him in on the 4th round because he was just so expensive. I mean, he cost 5. I had the ramp. He did a revolt, that would never happen. But a 4/4, he could be a 6/6 because it's basically revolt with 2 counters. So not bad, but not great. The reason I went with blue, and this is kind of funny, I can't believe we haven't seen them so far. Metallic Rebuke. You can counter a spell unless they pay 3, which late game they always had. But it would target any spell and it only costs 3. So I could get it way down there early game and just start shutting them down while I hit them. And that was the strategy. I just couldn't get it to work. So there's another metallic. Oh, this is fun. Might as well pull it. There's the 3rd metallic. And then we had negate, 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 which I believe this is the only one in there out of the 3. And I pulled it to put in creatures. Like, that's how desperate I got, because I don't care if they're casting non-creature spells. I care if they're casting creature spells. Did I really have 2 of these? Oh, wow, okay, I had a second leopard, didn't even realize that. That's the Trample Energy Leopard. This was really nice. I was happy to have this in here. You know, the puzzle knot. Cost 2, 3 life, 3 energy, sack it, 3 life, 3 energy. That's just nice. I mean, it's just 6 life and 6 energy for, you know, nothing, just about. Then we had Girapur Guide. This is pointless. His ability is crap. But he is a 3/2 for 3. So barely qualifies as a reasonable creature in green. You could pay 3. Target creature you control can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. Never activated that once. This was my promo. This is supposed to be the big card right here. I'm going to have to flip it upside down to read it, though. Revolt. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, you may put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put it on the bottom of your library. So if it's a land, you just drop it in. If it's any kind of permanent, you drop it in. And if it's a spell, you can leave it there or you can bury it. So it does cost 5. But basically, if they kill one of my creatures, I'll flip up another creature and replace it. Unfortunately, less than 1/3 of my deck was creatures, so didn't really work that well. I don't know, I didn't love the card. Another attune with the Aether. Then we had Lifecraft Cavalry. This one, once again, was added for round 4. I pulled it because of cost reasons. My deck was too expensive, but I just needed the creatures, and that's it. So you can see, the deck sucked. I mean, it's just barely playable in a sealed environment. Every single game was close. Most of them went to the time limit or went to turns. I mean, it just wasn't fun. I mean, you could improve this with like 3 cards. You could just take the person that generates, you know, a beast, a 6/6 beast. I'd be fine with that. 1 reasonable flyer, 1 creature that's like a 3/1 for 2. I mean, just anything. This deck just does no damage, and it doesn't have the level of control to have no damage. So you're probably thinking, well, Desolator, why didn't you pick another color? Oh, here we go. Welcome to the hell that was the rest of my pool. So we did have, you know, Welder Automaton. It's a 2/1 for 2, but it's got a red ability, so, you know, I had 2 of those actually. Durable Handicraft. This was originally in my deck for the first 3 games. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 extra generic. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on it, and then you could sack it for 6 and put a 1/1 counter on everything and only cost 2. So early game, this was kind of useless because I wouldn't have the mana, and late game, it was kind of pointless because I pretty much already lost at that point. But this was supposed to take my garbage creatures and make them actually good by making them 1 bigger or 2 bigger. Didn't really happen, pulled it from my deck. There's the other negate. Thriving Turtle, literally a 0/3, didn't put him in. You can pay energy to make him a 4 or a 1/4. I mean, it costs 1, yeah, it shuts down their attack, but I had enough of that. Outland Boar, honestly, this is a complete garbage card. It's a 4/4 for 4. Great. Wasn't playing those colors anyway. Almost did. Siege Modification, one of the most powerful cards that you can pull in sealed. Unfortunately, I pulled 2 vehicles, and that's it. So this meeting up with 2 vehicles never going to happen. If I had one of these and 4 vehicles, I absolutely would have played red just because of this, because red was actually my next most powerful color. So we did have kicked out of the deck, well, never included in the first place, Monstrous Onslaught. Basically, I'll have to read this. It's a sorcery, it costs 5, I already hate it. It deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So in other words, 2. Complete garbage. Consulate Turret, I had both of these in my deck in the first place. When you cast them, you get 1 energy, they can pay 3 and deal 2 damage to target players. So I thought, oh, I'll just keep generating energy and damaging them. No, I would pretty much do 4 damage and then never have any energy the rest of the game. So, oh, that's right, they don't gain 1 energy when they enter the battlefield. You can tap them to generate 1 energy. These weren't good enough. Without being able to hit creatures, they just weren't good enough, so I kicked them out. The other vehicle I had was the Iron Tread Crusher. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's a crew 3/6/6, costs 4. Not bad. Would have been nice to, you know, make it a 9/6. I was really on the fence, but this was my only other one, and the other one was the 5/5. So they would have been powerful, but I never would have cast them together. It just wasn't good enough. So white was pretty doable, I guess. I mean, it wasn't great. That's a 2/1 for 4 with Fabricate 1 flyer. I mean, that's crap. Thriving Ibex, that's crap. I mean, it's an energy waster. It's a 2/4 for 4. It's just not good enough. Literally a 0/4. I mean, I love this card, but I needed to do some damage. Ally Evasion, I mean, okay, it's kind of an ambush. Great. I mean, I don't even need the second ability. It's not good enough. Audacious Infiltrator, he can't be blocked by artifact creatures, whoop-de-doo. He is a 3/1 for 2, so he would have been nice. Thopter Arrest, this is complete crap. You exile an artifact or creature that an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Oh, actually, yeah, this is the really good one. So this would have been nice. It's basically Stasis Snare, but better. So white was close. I just couldn't do any damn damage with it. This is the Super Flicker. I wouldn't have had enough energy, though. That's the thing. If I went blue-white, I wouldn't have had enough energy generation to make any of this happen. But it is a 3/1 for 2, but that would have been the second one, and that would have been some really easy-to-kill creatures. In fact, there's another 3/1 for 2. So, I mean, they would have just chump-blocked at some point, and I would have lost them all. So, that's a shame. I mean, then you got a 3/3 flyer for 5. I mean, these are just such miserable cards. It's just so bad. Oh boy, the rest of my creatures get +1/+1 vigilance till end of turn. So what? I don't care. There's the other negate, and Aether Trade Winds. Just useless. Just stupid. Stupid, useless waste of a card. I have to bounce one of my permanents to bounce one of their permanents. Great. I mean, that is just stupid. I don't even have words for that. So you can see white was close, but the creatures were just pathetic. They all had 1 toughness. The spells were so-so. The removal was reasonable. I was pretty close to swapping the whole damn color. Destroy X artifacts, create X 2/2 gremlins. The only problem is I'd be lucky to cast it for 5, and then I'd have to have valid targets. So they would have to be playing artifacts, and since this isn't constructed, they wouldn't be. So that's a waste of a rare. Terror of the Fairgrounds, I mean, he's a 5/2 for 4. Once again, easily killable. Salivating Gremlins, I mean, when he enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +2 and trample until end of turn. Wait a minute. Oh, when an artifact enters battlefield. Well, that's not bad. I just didn't have enough artifacts to make it work. So it's basically a 2/3 for 3. That's garbage. Spider-Side Infiltrator. When it becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to each opponent, and it's a 3/2. That's huge. That is a sick little monkey card. Speaking of that, I pulled that little monkey. Look at that. Reckless Fireweaver, that's huge. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent, but it's only a 1/3, and I had almost no artifacts to throw in, so wouldn't have worked. Harness Lightning, removal, beautiful, but that would be all the energy I'd see if I was playing red. Precise Strike, just a stupid waste of a card, let's be honest. It costs 1, Target creature gets +1 and gains first strike until end of turn. There are probably 15 better spells than this. I mean, it's pathetic. Let's see, Frontline Rebel, it's a 3/3 for 3, and it attacks every single combat. I mean, that's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. Then we got Chandra's Revolution. It deals 4 damage to target creature, tap target land. That land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, so it's 4 damage for 4 as a sorcery. It's not terrible, but you can't hit the player with it, so it's not great. I mean, that describes like every card in both of these sets. They're just not good. Let's see, this is a 2/3 for 3 and does something stupid. I wouldn't even add the artifacts to defeat it. Then we've got Destructive Tampering. Destroy target artifact or creature without flying can't block this turn. I don't even have any flyers in red. And this costs 3, it's a sorcery. I mean, wow. So red, not spectacular, probably close to being playable. Honestly, probably closer than blue turned out. But I mean, 6 counterspells, and then the scry ability, it was closer than you think. I mean, black was a joke. Okay, let me show you what's wrong with black. I'm not even gonna show you the cards. Okay, 4 cost, 4 cost, 4 cost, 4 cost, 3 cost, 5 cost, 3 cost, 4 cost, 1 cost and it sucks. 6 cost mythic, waste of a mythic. 4 cost, 6 cost. That's what's wrong with black. Don't even need to show you what cards they are, what they do. And then, I don't know, my artifacts were crap. So, I don't know, this was a 6/2 for 5. Honestly, I probably should have thrown it in. I mean, that is, you get to swing once with that. It's basically a 5 cost creature removal. Foundry Assembler, it's a 3/3 for 5 with Improvise. I didn't have the artifacts to fund it. Night Market Guard attacks every single combat and it's a 3/1 and it costs 3. That's garbage. Implement of Improvement. I wasn't playing white, so that's all that goes into that. This thing's a piece of garbage. It's a 2/4 for 4, and if you pay 1, it gains flying. That's crap. Prakata, I mean, this would have been nice if I was playing black. You know, pay 1, gains lifelink, it's 2/3. That's not bad. Perpetual Timepiece, I mean, why would I do this? I would mill myself out. It's just stupid. And then Workshop Assistant, printed way too dark. What does this even do? So 1/2 for 3. When it dies, return an artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Completely irrelevant. It would never happen. And then I got the Ed Soul artifact card. Yeah. Yep. So I got that, and I got the red Crew Forever +3 first strike card. But I couldn't do anything with them. I didn't have enough vehicles. I didn't have enough good artifacts. I mean, all this pool was so close to being good, but it was like so far away from being good. I mean, compared to what mine was for Eldritch Moon and even just Kaladesh alone, it's just pathetic. I mean, a lot of these cards are just unplayable filler garbage, and that's a shame. I mean, I can't imagine if this was a draft. I mean, sealed is bad enough, but if you're trying to draft something, the whole second half of any booster is garbage, if not more. So that's a great example of how you can take something and still kind of put together something with some synergy. I had energy, I had ways to spend it, I had scry, I had fixing, a little bit of removal, and a ton of counterspells. So at least it was some control. And when the deck worked, I won easily, but that was like 2 games. Almost every other one was drawn out like 30 minutes, so I did win in the end mostly by outplaying the people, just making less mistakes. So that's, you know, there's something to be said there. If you have a pool that looks like this, you could just outplay your opponents, I guess, and just make better, smarter decisions. And it was a lot harder than any other game of Magic I've ever played. The whole event, I mean, just the decisions I had to make, it was just crazy. Like, do I do this or do this? Every single turn. And every single turn, if I make the wrong mistake, I die. You know, we're both hovering at like 5 life. And it was intense, but I liked it. It was like more of a chess match, more intense. And it was what everybody wishes Modern was, where it's supposed to be like, oh, just on the edge, oh, what do I do? Decisions, such high power level, oh my gosh. But this is like such low power level, oh my gosh, you know. Kind of the same thing, except Modern turned into, oh, did I get my combo off? No, I lost. Yes, I won. Yay, I'm playing solitaire. You know, it's just completely not what they designed it to be. But then again, Modern isn't designed. None of the cards were supposed to go together. So to call it designed is a little generous. So that is the legendary pool from hell. Your pool was probably similar because, you know, all the cards that were commons in here were garbage pretty much. It might have been 1 or 2 golden commons, and then I pulled some just bomb staples. But that's the problem. They aren't standalone. I mean, my 7-5 was standalone, but everything else, it had to go with something else. You had to have vehicles. You had to have energy. So nobody could build anything. I mean, that's what everybody at the pre-release told me, and I completely agree. Even the people who won were complaining about their decks being crap, and they were way better than this. I mean, some people... I might as well have not even played against it after the first game. I saw what they were running. I saw the consistency, the power of the creatures. They had removal, board wipes, they had answers for everything. It was like they actually built a deck. So I didn't stand a chance in hell against those people, even though, like I said, I tied 1-1. So I guess I did stand a chance against them. But that's just because their decks were, you know, synergistic and good, but they had to cram about 50% garbage even into those. So, yeah, so basically this pre-release was complete crap. I hated it, and if I could fire a gun inside my apartment, I would blow this to pieces right now. That's a shame. I'll see you guys next video.